All right, want to show you guys something we just drug back to the shop. Got a call a couple days ago from a friend of mine, Curtis, and he told me that one of his coworkers had just located a bus that had been turned into a trailer. I'll insert a photo of it right here and walk around here and show you the trailer. Basically, they welded a tube onto the front. Luckily, they didn't cut the nose here. They went underneath, kind of bolted a plate in here, and then they just welded it to the beam. So luckily, it was not non-invasive, I guess, as far as the trailer conversion. Not a lot of damage done, but just kind of welded it onto the beam there and turned it into a trailer. If you look at the plate on the back, according to this, 1968 was more than likely the year that this all happened, and then it was ran till 70 as an Idaho utility trailer, and that's what it was licensed as. I don't know how they got that done, but they did. But this axle they put in it, you can see there's a couple of bolts over here to the spring plate. Same thing on this side. And then they welded this plate right here. And that would just kind of keep it somewhat centered. They never bothered hooking up the shocks to it. And so that's it right there. I mean, and it does not pull well at all. Maybe if you had some weight in this thing, it would pull decent, but I don't know. It's pretty sketchy. I did pull it to about 45 miles home, just because when I first got the message from Curtis, I assumed that, you know, this friend of his had picked it up to put back on the road, and then a little while later, I got another message from Curtis telling me that this guy was getting ready to hack it up. Apparently he is a picker and kind of does antique type stuff, and he wanted to convert it into a trailer for hauling his antiques. So when I got to this guy, I mean, as soon as I heard that, I grabbed some cash, I got in my truck, and I just took off and started calling, trying to get a hold of the guy. Finally got a hold of the guy. When I got there, he literally had a box of grinder wheels, cutoff wheels, and a brand new grinder, and his plan was to cut the bulkhead out here, and there was also talk of cutting out the dash, which, take a look at that dash. Original delete plate, ashtray. I mean, it's missing the column, steering wheel, speedometer, but I mean, this thing is just, the patina on it is beautiful. You know, there's a few kind of flaws. There's some holes in the roof where there was some type of a rack on it, but I mean, the bulkhead's nice. It's got a few dents here, but this guy had already started loading up some of his antiques, kind of had them sitting in there, and he was kind of mocking up how he would optimize the room in here and haul more stuff. And so I mean, we literally got there probably within a couple days of this thing going under the knife and getting hacked up. This is a 1958. It's actually, I believe, May of 57 is the production date. It's got tail lights are still here. They haven't been cut out. It's got the 58 deck lid. The back hatch is, this handle's actually frozen. Most of the handles on it are frozen. I mean, if we're going off of the license plate, this thing's been off the road since, you know, the late 60s. So at best, it was on the road for maybe 10 years as a bus, probably less. Then it became a trailer, and I'm guessing that, you know, anytime you put your trailer axle at the very end of your trailer, I mean, the tongue weight on this thing's got to be over 1,000 pounds. And so I'm guessing that maybe they realized that this wasn't the best idea, and it probably didn't get used for very long. They did, you know, 68 to 70, I guess. But then the story goes it sat next to a barn. It's been sitting there ever since. The old couple that owned the barn just passed away, and their kids are liquidating everything. And that's when this guy picked it up. He picked it up for $125, was what I was told. And as soon as I heard he was, thinking about converting it into a trailer to haul stuff, I got online, I found an enclosed trailer that was the comparable length, and I offered to just buy him this enclosed trailer and trade straight across for the bus. Ultimately, he decided to just take the cash value of the trailer for the bus. And so we basically picked it up for about the cost of, a, 14, 15 foot enclosed trailer. So there it is, kind of just crazy patina. I mean, obviously this side here, the driver's side was against the barn, the way he explained it to me. I wish I had some photos of it where he found it, but this side here was against the barn, so it was a little more protected. The paint's in a little better shape. This side here is just completely baked. And it looks like, I'll show you this. I think most of this happened just where it was sitting. There was a little bit of silicone over this hole here for the headlight, and I popped it off, and I mean, the Dove Blue under there is about perfect. So I'm guessing when this thing got parked by the barn, there was probably a fair amount of Dove Blue still on there, and it probably just over the years, over the last 40, 50 years, just got baked off, So, yeah, almost 50 years, that's crazy that this thing's just been sitting out in a barn somewhere around American Falls, Idaho, is I believe what he told me. Pretty cool bus. I'll give you a walk around here and show you kind of the details. Long wall rocker is not bad. It's got some rust coming through. Front floors are pretty solid. Dog legs are solid. This one's a little beat up. Driver's door has a dent there. Kind of already showed you the dash. Dash is just really clean. That'll just polish out beautiful. Nose has got some damage right here. The gutters on the roof are actually really nice. Windshield frames are pretty dang nice. A lot of this stuff's just been siliconed up, after they turned it into a trailer. I'm guessing maybe this windshield got broke out at some point where it was sitting. But it looked like they kind of made an attempt to seal it up. There's some silicone here and there. A little bit of rust on the nose here under the right headlamp. Passenger door sprung. You can see it sprung here. Pretty good dent. And then check this out. Just a little section of the pressed bumper. Of course, 58's the last year for the pressed bumper. So just a little chunk of the bumper left. Passenger side, I'm guessing that it was maybe sitting either down, sitting down in the dirt, because it seems like the rust is kind of up in this side here. You can see some rust there, and then of course the rust on the nose. Rockers under the cargo doors are pretty rusty. Short wall there is a little rusty. Uncut though on the rear wheel wells, which is cool. Little bend here on the louvers, and then roof, little dent on the back, and then of course there's the holes from some type of a goofy rack. Corners are a little beat up, not horrible. Taillights are still there, the lenses are cracked, but it's just cool that they're there and uncut. Deck lids, they're a little beat up. This thing would work great just as a patina bus, you know, just running it as is, just kind of polish it out, clean it up. And actually, I passed this along to my buddy Tyler, so he's going to take this one on. But that's what I'm getting ready to do right now, is load it up. I kind of gathered up what bus parts I had to throw in with it, just to kind of help him out. And I think he's in the process of talking with another friend of ours in town here about some parts that he has. And he's wanted a panel for a long time, so this is going to be, yeah, his project. But I'm just glad that we got to it. I'm glad I got that message from Curtis. Curtis literally saved this bus, because if he hadn't gone over there and snapped some photos and then contacted me or pursued it, this thing more than likely would have gotten hacked up, and then it would have just been a shame, you know, to see this thing cut up. The doors, the upper hinge on this cargo door is busted, and the mechanism on the door is all froze up. So I've got the doors just kind of, you know, strapped shut right now. Show you in here, cargo, there's the inside of the cargo, and then, you know, back here it's just kind of what you expect for a panel. Not much going on there, just bare metal and gray primer. Anyways, figured I'd share that with you guys. Patina monster panel, twice baked on this side, and just some nice, beautiful patina on this side. Cool bus for sure. It'll be cool to check in with Tyler here in a few weeks or a couple months maybe, see what he's got going on with it. Yeah, neat bus. I've had a panel before. I had a 57 years ago that I drove a fair amount, TV bus. Maybe I'll find a photo and insert it right here in the video. Panels aren't my favorite buses to drive. I've told people it's like driving one big blind spot. So as intrigued as I was by the idea of putting this thing together and maybe running it, the reality is I'm buried in projects as it is, and honestly I'd rather be driving either a window bus or even a single cab. So there it is, guys. 58 panel, just barely saved it, just in the nick of time before a picker turned it into his antique hauling trailer. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you later.